Chapter 3, The Souls Inside. I was curious of what the sound was, so I decided to take a look inside. I opened the door quietly and kept hearing someone saying, "Set them free." So I went down the stairs and I saw these white orbits just floating there. And I was really confused of what these are. So I got closer to get a better look at them. But then they said, "Are you him? Are you the man who made us look like this?" I did not understand what was going on, but then Jake came down. "Who are you talking to, Michael?" Jake said. I'm talking to these white orbit." The orbits were gone. Are you okay?" Jake said. Yeah," I said. Then Jake and I walked back upstairs until a car pulls up in the alley, and we got out of there as fast as we can. But the next day I kept thinking about who were those white orbits, and who was the man they kept talking about. I have to figure out this mystery myself. I have to go back to Freddy's tomorrow night. Chapter 4, The Mistake That Happened Long Ago. When I got back home, I went up to my room and got my flashlight and the stuff I need to investigate Freddy's. It is 2 p.m. right now. I'll have to wait when the place closes. I'm just relaxing on the couch until I heard the door creak open, but my dad wasn't home, so I decided to check it out. I walked down the stairs. It led to the basement. I was scared of this place when I was 3 years old, but I'm 16. I got used to the basement. When I got to the bottom of the stairs, I saw a newspaper on the table. I read it, and it said, "Police are still investigating the pizzeria for murders of 5 children." I was shocked. Why did my dad have this? Then I backed up and hit a button that revealed a secret room in the walls. It had weapons like knives, and I was confused. But then something popped in my head. Was my dad the killer? Chapter 5, The Bite of 81. I ran out of the basement. I couldn't believe my dad was a killer of 5 children. I was going to call the cops, but then my dad was behind me. "What were you doing in the basement?" My dad said. Nothing," I said. My dad was mad at me for going in the basement to discover his secrets he has been hiding from me. I wanted to ask him about the murders, but he would have gotten angry. If I did so, I kept silent. "Do you know what happened to your brother?" my dad said. "No, I do not," I said. "Well, he did not die by an accident. He died by getting his frontal lobe bitten off by an animatronic in the year 1981, my dad said. "What? Why have you been keeping this from me?" I yelled. "I didn't want you to freak out. Just forget what you saw in the basement," my dad said. "No, I'm leaving, you psycho," I yelled. I ran out of the house in terror. My dad was yelling at me to come back, but I didn't listen. I had to get to Freddy's to learn what my father has done. Chapter 6, Revenge of the Restless Soul. I made it to Freddy's and I crawled through the vent that Jake and I opened. But when I got to the pizzeria, it was completely silent. I looked around to find the orbits. I even checked the basement. Nothing was there. I was starting to give up and go home until I heard a scream coming from upstairs of the pizza place. And I ran as fast as I can, and I was able to make it upstairs. Then I heard the scream again down the hallway, and I walked over. "Hello? Who's there?" I said, but nobody answered. But I continued walking until I saw a light. Then I found what the light was. It was one of the orbits. "We are not orbits. We are souls of the dead," the soul said. I was really confused about this soul thing until it moved out of the way to show me something that made my blood stop. It was Jake and Amanda dead on the floor. "Why did you do this to them?" I yelled at the soul. "They needed to pay for what they did to us. I remember they were murdered 2 years ago." "It was not them who murdered you. It was my father," I yelled. "My name is Michael Afton," I said. "I know," the soul said. I was confused for a minute. "I thought you would remember me, brother."